Hello, guys. It's great to be here with you again. Of the Village Board Academy, giving you business tips. For the abundance of doubt, the kind of tips we give here is not the kind that they will teach you in school, not even in business school. These are a kind of street intelligence, street wisdom that we come to share with you based on our years of experiences and interactions with small business owners, and of course as practitioners who has also been in that terrain before and is still fairly active in that terrain. Today we want to talk about competition. So many SMEs don't even care about competition. I wouldn't say they don't know that it exists, but the behavior of so many of them is almost indicative that they don't even know or care that it exists. Yes, it does exist. I am aware also that people tend to, go into business they have little or no knowledge about. I've spoken about this very well in the past. For instance, you see, that guy, that lady in your neighborhood that is selling this kind of thing and is, by your understanding, is making good money, it's lucrative, and boom, the next thing you want to start that kind of business. There's nothing wrong with that, but even you coming into that business has, brought a kind of competition into that kind of line of business. And these are things we easily overlook. And we cannot run away from it. Even the other person you admire that is making money in your neighborhood, the moment you come into the foray to do the kind of business, you are competing with that person. And whether you know it or not, the person may struggle to make what he or she was making before. That is the nature of competition. It's not avoidable, I must say. It takes only big companies to become monopolies. And even we do know that governments all over the world, they try to frown against monopolists. That is why you see a lot of antitrust legislation all over the world, because they don't want a business to become so powerful, to become almost competing directly with government. So they don't want monopolies. Nobody wants monopolies any longer. So it is even more for an SME. An SME cannot even be monopolies. And even if you start an idea within your locality, and the moment people are watching you, people are saying, oh, this idea is kind of generating traffic, it's kind of making good money. They want to come into it. They want to do it. And you cannot stop them. Especially if you are operating in a market where there is free entry, free exit. There is nothing you can do about it. The best thing you can do is to prepare yourself to get the adequate knowledge that you need to have about how you can manage competition, because you cannot run away from it. It is there and it continues to be there. So for you to gain competitive advantage, what should you do? So we look at some of those things you can do to gain competitive advantage. We are not going to advise you to do something that is not ethical, something that is illegal. No. These are things that are ethical, though sometimes the ethical imperative can be doubted, but they are not illegal. Of course, we cannot give you business tips that will make you do something that is illegal at all. So sometimes, what are the competitive advantages? What do? You can choose to be the cost leader. Cost leader means that you are producing or you're rendering your service at a lesser cost than your competitors without compromising the quality. Sometimes people cut corners to cut costs and the other quality. I've spoken a lot about quality. Don't joke with your quality. But you can have a creative way of producing or rendering your service that your cost is reduced. Sometimes either you outsource part of the thing, or you have a regular source of supply. There's so many factors that you can bring in to make sure that what it costs you to render that service or what it costs you to produce can be bit lesser than your competitor. And even if you are going to charge the same margin or the same markup, you will discover that your price might be a bit cheaper. I know in some instances people doubt the quality of your service or your product is a bit cheaper, but by the time they find out that there's nothing lacking in the quality of what you are giving them, you will have an advantage. If you choose to be a cost, leader in your line of business. So in which case you have to do a lot of work. Also, you have to understand alternative source of supplies. You have to understand the benefits of enjoying discount for prompt payment and all stuff like that. I've spoken about some of other aspects in previous videos. So do yourself a favor and go through some of them. Then you can create a kind of differentiation. How do you differentiate your market from another person? What do you do? It could be by delivery. Like I remember in those days when we were in Tandy, we discovered that, okay, we told ourselves that it is fallacious to think that we are competing with Coca-Cola. We cannot. They will crush us simply. It was as simple as that. Then we said, okay, what can we do? And we introduce this party convenience, whereby we know taking advantage of the cultural imperatives in Lagos. Then we say, okay, hey, if you want to have your party at the weekend, you have your naming ceremony, you have your wedding, just come to us. We will supply you. We take the hassle from you. And we are doing that. We were able to. We became creative. We made some cooling blockheads, and which we constructed by ourselves. Then we put all those things, and we are doing it. Party supply. Then we got 1 or 2 vehicles for that. So that is being creative. We are differentiating that thing. Of course, the bigger ones they eventually copy that. But that's kind of thing. I mean, you look at, okay, what can you do differently that your competitors are not doing? It could be, okay, you deliver at the doorstep. It could be, okay, you respond to others within 24 or 48 hours. Don't promise what you cannot achieve. So that is how you can differentiate yourself. Oh, then timely delivery. If you promise, you deliver. That itself alone can give you a competitive advantage over other people. Then you can have a kind of defensive strategy, whereby you make sure that your area, it could be like, okay, you are servicing a particular area, and you make sure you service those areas, you manage those areas very well. So you don't allow unnecessary encroachment into that. I'm also one that defensive strategy can again be counterproductive, especially if you are going on, if you are doing it in a way that is considered unethical. So you have to be very mindful if you are going to defensive strategies to make sure that whatever you are doing is ethical and is legal. So then you can achieve that advantage. For instance, some of those you see people supplying shirts to offices. They just go to a particular branch of maybe of a bank or of insurance, and they kind of maintain kind of territorial defense there. So this means when they see other people coming, they say, why are you here? This is my territory. Kind of, you can be polite, you can be civil in addressing that, but it's a way of which you can say, okay, this is my area, I've carved this area for myself, I don't want anybody to encroach. So go elsewhere, go and develop another market. I develop this and not that. Again, be careful that whatever you are doing is ethical and is legal. So sometimes also you can have a strategic alliance with other businesses, either in terms of supply chain, either in terms of even channel distribution. You can, have an alliance with other things. I remember in those days, some newspapers used to do it. Use newspaper distribution. So when a particular newspaper is not going a particular route, they can take the newspaper of others and they deliver to their editor, local distributor, whatever. So you can create, strategic alliance, in which case your cost of distribution can be shared with other people in your business. So that is another way you can, enjoy competitive advantage over other business. And very importantly, you also must have a good customer relationship management, CRM. I know most local businesses they are not good at CRM. They don't even consider CRM as very important. Even these days, in these days of social media, depending on the cultural lineage of the people, I've seen people that they send messages, greetings to their customers, just bulk messages. And trust our people, they love all this kind of thing, and anytime they want to do something or they want to buy something that relates to you. So this guy is always waking up with good motivational messages and beautiful prayers. People love prayers a lot. You can't take that away from them. So they say, let's patronize him. It's been good to us. He's always, he has us in mind. So those are the part of, you may call on the streets CRM. Here we are not going to give you sophisticated principle. We can when it's necessary, but those are the little tips you can do, to have a competitive advantage. Imagine you are doing this for a while, and each time they want to do something that relates to what you offer, they will remember you. I mean, they will say, oh, no, yes, this guy has been good to us. It's always, I've had a customer testimony say, oh, that guy message wakes me up every day. So when I want to do one thing, it's the first person that comes to my mind, which is natural. So you can use your production process, your prices, again, which is also like part of being a cost leadership. For instance, if you have a better way of producing without compromising quality, and it turns out that your cost of production is coming down, because you have, devised this means, or you have a way of where you price. That's what we call marginal income, especially when you are introducing your product to the market. People don't mind to just earn marginal, markup, marginal margin on their products. So they don't want to make, killer's profit at the beginning. At the beginning. So when they get stabilized, when they get known, when they get trusted, so they can decide, okay, to charge full market price. So that is the other thing. Then, that's what we call learning curve in your production process, especially when you are employing new hands. It gets to a time that you begin to, achieve more efficiency, more effectiveness in your production process, which itself may reduce the overall cost of production, and that reduction itself, make you to be able to, match competitors' price or even reduce. Also, I know, during festivals, since promotion has become very popular now, that you reduce your price by some percentages so that people can come and rush. People buy more than what they need. It doesn't matter if they are buying what they don't need. Sometimes they buy, and those things go to obsolescence rather. So those are the kind of things that you have to look at. When you talk of competitive advantage, managing your competition, you should also understand the marketing needs, both in long term and in short term. What is the marketing needs of this for this product, for this service? Sometimes you can create those needs. Sometimes you have to study what the market is talking. What the street is talking, and you prepare you devise your own strategies to respond to whatever the market is saying. You have to, which means you have to always be updating your information about the market. You have to be knowledgeable about the market you are operating in. There's no two way about that. So you have to understand this basic need on this. Then you have to also focus on, the right competition. So when we talk about right competition, it's not everybody that is doing business that is your competitor. Don't get it twisted. Like I used my example when I was at Stanley Gurana then, we discovered that, look, we are more in competition with Limca than with Coca-Cola. Though we know they have, ownership relationship and all that. So we left Coca-Cola, we left Pepsi as the big guys. So we don't want to compete with these guys. They're simply going to crush us. So we started looking at, okay, Limca was bigger than us, but we can still, rub shoulder a bit with them, and we divide this what we call the crumbs that fall at the master feet, table. So we started picking markets that were on service, that were neglected by the big boys, and we were able to, achieve some success there. So you have to know, the right competition. So don't go and fight somebody that don't go and compete with somebody that will crush you. Don't go into the territory of those of the crushers. Find your own local territory. Find your own local what do you call it, hood that you can thrive. So don't if it's like we say if you are a small masquerade, don't go into the into the forum of the big masquerade. You will be lost. They will just swallow you up, and that could be the end of the business. So you must sure that first you understand which competition is right for you, and you focus on that right competition. It's very important, very, very important. So you also have to focus on analysis, competitive analysis. What kind of competition is in your business, in your industry, is your class of business, your category of business? It could even be by geographical area. So how is this competition? How many people? How many players? What are the categories of players? Small, medium, big, big player. So you have to know this. It's just like you were talking about football or something. I mean, it's not every team that go to the Champions League. So if your level doesn't pass a FA Cup, just stay there and make sure you compete very well. Don't go and break your leg because you want to rub shoulder with the big boys. It doesn't work that way. It's like that also in business. So if you know the right competition, then you'll be able to have focus on competitive analysis. What is the nature of this competition? What is the nature of this market? Who are the players in this market? So what stage am I in this market? How can I improve my share of the market? You have to constantly do the analysis. What are the issues in the market? Is it price? Is it quality? Is it distribution network? Is it channels of distribution, which is also part of distribution network? Or is it customer relations? So do they do door-to-door service? Do they do delivery? It's not always out of place to do some kind of business espionage. People do it. You are at the small scale, you understand your competitors. You analyze them. You can apply your SWOT analysis, because again, you don't want to open up yourself to beyond your capacity. Capacity can be a limiting factor to what you are doing. So when you do your competitive analysis, then you'll be able to know and see where you fit into the competition. And again, so you now focus on the right competition. So you are not dissipating energy because you want to flex muscle that you are also a competitor. No, it doesn't work that way. And you should be very flexible. Very, very flexible. Flexibility helps you to stay competitively advantaged. Don't be too rigid. For instance, if everybody is doing sales promotion in December, you can't say, no, you don't want to do. You know how much it costs you to produce. Fine. You should also consider the shelf life of your product. You should also consider how you are servicing your overdrafts in the bank. So if you don't sell, I don't want to use some example that may be injurious. I've seen situation where some business owners, they understand the importance of velocity. They understand the importance of quick turnover, and they would rather gain little marginal income and turn it over several times. Whereas you see some, they want, they are looking for killer's profit, and the product will be gathering dust, and they will be dusting it and for months. So these are the kind of things you have to know when you are doing competition. So you can't be saying, why is this business outselling us? Why are they making money? Why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? You have to understand what they are doing, but you are not doing. You also have to understand what you can do differently. Competition will always be there. It's not whether we like it. It's not whether we realize it exists. It's not even whether we deny that it exists. It is always there. It's always there. Even if you start on as the only person that is that kind of business, or somebody will come someday, they will come into it because people will know that you are making some good doors, you are making some good money. They will want to know who doesn't like good things, but it does. So they will come. Even though as an employee you can say, okay, I have enough knowledge about this business. Let me go and do something about it. So that is it. So you have to be aware that any business that you do, there are competition, and you cannot wish it away. You have to manage it so that you can have a competitive advantage, so that the competition will not swallow you, so that you can float with the competition. You can actually strive depending on the number of effort, depending on how much effort you put, into focusing on the competition and doing your thorough competitive analysis, so that you can take advantage of the whatever windows or loopholes that may exist there. Of course, you can bring in your SWOT analysis to thoroughly look at your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunity, and your threats rather, in the competition arena. It is always there. It will always be there. So don't turn blind eyes to competition. So if you don't, then you will be able to gain advantage in it. So you now can have a competitive edge, over and above other people in the same business. So don't sleep on those things. Practice them. Like I almost said, if there are things that you need further clarification, please feel free to reach out to us. We'll be glad to work with you, so that you can move to the next level, not like the political one anyway. So, yeah, I remain your village boy until I come your way next time again. Pay great and focused attention on competition so that you can take advantage of it very well. Thank you.